Mheshimiwa Rais Daktari William Samoei Ruto atakabidhiwa nakala ya katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya iliyopitishwa mwaka 2010. Nakala hii ya katiba ikiwa ni ishara kuwa taifa litaongozwa kwa uongozi thabiti ambao utazingatia kanuni zote zilizoorodheshwa katika katiba hii.
May I now request Your Excellency Honorable William Ruto to move forward and receive the instruments of power.
Tumpongeze kwa makofi anapotekelezwa katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Wa kampuni wa chuma cha pua ama stainless steel, hali kadhalika ncha yake imepambwa kwa dhahabu.
Anapopokea kitabu hicho, na ni dalili nzuri kwamba anakuwa amiri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi ya Kenya.
Immediately after the Azimio One Kenya coalition conceded the 2022 presidential race and former President Uhuru Kenyatta handed over power to Dr. William Ruto, the Kenya Kwanza candidate and the winner, there is nothing much spoken about David Murathe, the powerful Jubilee vice chair who stood by the side of the retired President Kenyatta, even during trying times of the Jubilee party leadership succession wrangles, was a hard nut to crack and was the man to look after when matters disciplined Jubilee rebel members who were allied to DP Ruto was the topic on the table.
The president himself has stuck out his neck, telling the people he thinks he knows what is good for them. The president has a democratic right to choose who he wants. He wants to explain to the people. He did it in Sagana 2 or Sagana 3. And we are telling the people of Mount Kenya, with or without your vote, because you have never given Raila anyway, under the current circumstances, he's going to be president. Because you can be sure Raila is going to get some votes in Mount Kenya region this time around. It's as simple as that. I'm not being presumptuous. And by the way, you know the attrition rate in Mount Kenya. In Mount Kenya, the attrition rate of sitting candidates is 70 to 80%. Last time, all the governors went home in Mount Kenya, with the exception of Mwangi wa Iria. You know, it's a fact. MPs, like I think there was one or two who survived, Kaninikega in Nyeri, and who else? I can't even remember who else survived in the region. Let me tell you, this is a slaughter. And in fact, we are glad that we are not going to carry that baggage of the sitting MPs, because most of them will go home anyway.
Murathe, just a mere vice chairperson of the party, was so powerful that had most times faced up with Dr. William Ruto, the then Jubilee deputy party leader, who had declared his interest in succeeding President Kenyatta, a view that was never going on well with Kenyatta.
The party has never met to take a stand on the handshake. The party has never met to take a stand on the BBI. So there is no party position. So everybody takes an individual position. So David Murathe cannot purport to discipline us for taking an individual position when the party has no position. You remember even when submissions for the BBI were being given, Jubilee did not take a position. So everybody is left to do his own things. Prior to the 2017 general elections, David Murathe told the country that the second and final term of Uhuru Kenyatta will be benevolent dictatorship. That is what he said. And we have seen it has come to pass. In fact, there is no benevolence, it is dictatorship. The party does not meet. The organs do not meet. The only organ that meets in Jubilee is the disciplinary committee that disciplines people. It's total dictatorship. And that is why there is revolt, there is rebellion. And you cannot stifle people from expressing their views. It is not possible. Number two, David Murathe keeps on threatening people with expulsion. Please, David Murathe, we are tired of these threats. Go ahead and carry them out. And let me also tell you, a party is the membership. That party you say you are leading now is a shell. The only people who are in this party ourselves because we don't want to buy elections, because we don't want to expose our people to unnecessary electioneering during this very difficult time. The membership has moved out because of dictatorship. This is a party, was a national party. It is a shame that a national party cannot get a candidate in Machakos, it cannot get a candidate in Batungu, it cannot get a candidate in Kabuchai. You know, this is a party that had a candidate everywhere in the entire country. But because of dictatorship, we have lost a national party, and we are going far. David Murathe, I would like to tell you, saying that Uhuru Kenyatta cannot hand a baton to somebody is misplaced. It is not President Uhuru Kenyatta who will decide whom to hand over the baton to. That will be decided by the people of Kenya in a democratic election. The way we decided to give him the presidency and Mwai Kibaki handed over to him. Mwai Kibaki did not hand over to Uhuru Kenyatta because he wanted to. No, a decision was made by the people of Kenya to elect President Uhuru Kenyatta to be president, and Mwai Kibaki, according to the Constitution, had to hand over to him. It is not true what Sivuna is saying about the rich and the poor. Dynasties are not rich people. Hustlers are not poor people. Hustlers are people who have struggled from nothing to something. The fact that you are born in a family that is not known, you start from a kiosk, you own a shop, you own a supermarket, you are a hustler, although you are rich. Rich people are not dynasties. Dynasties are big families that have a history, and they get power or they get money simply because of where they were born and brought up. That is what you call a dynasty. But we have a lot of rich people who are hustlers, who have struggled from nothing. This idea of trying to corrupt the hustler nation, to make it like it's a battle between the rich and the poor, is wrong. It is because these people have realized, as they were waiting to be endorsed, William Ruto moved with the hustler narrative, and now is a movement that you cannot play around with. Is a narrative that is resonating with a lot of Kenyans. And all we are saying is, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you are born, you must be given an opportunity, if you are working hard and praying to God, to sit on the table with those other people who have come from other big families, and you be given an opportunity like everybody else. That is what the Hustler Nation is all about. I would like to, as I wind up, I would like to remind my friend David Murathe, please stop threatening leaders. You are not elected by anybody yourself. You are there as an appointee who has no mandate from anybody. You keep on threatening people who have gone through an election. These are leaders who campaigned and they won, and they did a lot of hard work. You are just given a position on an interim basis, but you have become such a threat to everybody. You are intimidating everybody. You have no respect for elected leaders, and that is why there is a lot of disquiet in the region. In fact, David Murathe, when the history of Uhuru Kenyatta is written and how he lost his popularity in the Mount Kenya region, you will have a chapter. It is that bravado. It is those threats you have every day. It is the way you are threatening people and intimidating them. And I'm challenging you, please don't threaten anymore. Go ahead, expel people from Jubilee. Go ahead, instigate state agencies to be able to harass and persecute elect leaders.
But where is Murathe nowadays is the big question. It is worthy noting majority of the vocal Uhuru Inner Circle members cannot be spotted anywhere in Kenya's local politics. Vocal cabinet secretaries, ex-Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i, former ICT cabinet secretary Joe Musheru, and former Interior PS Karanja Kibicho are also not visible nowadays. Indeed, it goes without saying, power is transient.
I told you we are going directly to the people, and we are appealing to the people. We will be talking to the people. The president himself has stuck out his neck, telling the people he thinks he knows what is good for them. The president has a democratic right to choose who he wants. He wants to explain to the people. He did it in Sagana 2 or Sagana 3. And we are telling the people of Mount Kenya, with or without your vote, because you have never given Raila anyway, under the current circumstances, he's going to be president. Because you can be sure Raila is going to get some votes in Mount Kenya region this time around.
I would like to remind my friend David Murathe, please stop threatening leaders. You are not elected by anybody yourself. You are there as an appointee who has no mandate from anybody. You keep on threatening people who have gone through an election. These are leaders who campaigned and they won, and they did a lot of hard work. You are just given a position on an interim basis, but you have become such a threat to everybody. You are intimidating everybody. You have no respect for elected leaders. And that is why there is a lot of disquiet in the region. In fact, David Murathe, when the history of Uhuru Kenyatta is written and how he lost his popularity in the Mount Kenya region, you will have a chapter